Hey, it's Dave Brown here, host of Now with Dave Brown on AMI. Check out this latest highlight from the show. Easterseals has launched their 2024 Disability Film Challenge. Over the past 11 years, the annual competition has given a platform for filmmakers with disabilities to spotlight their original work. Registration for this year's competition is open. Nic Novicki has details for you. He's the founder and director of the Disability Film Challenge. He's also an actor based in Hollywood, California. Hey, Nic, great to chat with you again. You and I connected a couple years ago. Really, congratulations on the ongoing success of the festival.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on, and it's amazing to be back on. And congrats to you on another show, and you know, you being such a rock star.
Success and mutual admiration all the way around. Hey, Nic, let's talk about the challenge itself and some of the context. What's at its core? What's the core idea behind the challenge?
Sure. So for those of you that can't see me, first of all, I'm Nic Novicki. I'm a little person. I'm wearing a checkered green shirt. I got a little bit of a beard on my face. And I'm a comedian, actor, writer, and producer. And as a little person, I've been very lucky in my career. I've been in over 40 TV shows and movies, worked with Martin Scorsese, the Farley brothers. I'm in the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie. But the majority of my work has been self-driven, with me writing and producing and creating my own content. So 11 years ago, I looked around. I was like, why aren't more people with disabilities creating their content? So I launched the Disability Film Challenge to help other people with disabilities take their career in their own hands. So at the core, this is a competition where you can make films, and it's about including people with disabilities authentically, and about people with disabilities telling their story and ultimately being discovered, and having that be a tool that could be showcased through the industry, but also to the disability community.
A couple weeks ago, there was a daily poll on the show because disability representation is something that we talk about pretty much every single day, often implicitly and frequently explicitly. And the question was posed, do you feel that disability representation in media has gotten better in the past couple of years? And in aggregate, the general agreement was, yes, it's come a way. There's still some ways to go, but there has been progress. How do you think this film challenge has been part of that progress?
Well, you know, I can't take all the credit. I got to say, there's so many pioneers in the disability inclusion movement, people that have been working for years and years. So I feel very honored to be among a group of people that are doing so much great work. But specifically with the film challenge, I do feel very proud. We have directly led to countless jobs for people with disabilities in front of and behind the camera. So the unique thing about the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge is you can't just talk about, I want to be an actor, I want to be a writer, I want to be a director, I want to be a producer. You have to actually make a film. You have to get involved. You have to act. You have to direct. You have to write. You have to edit, and you have to complete a film. This year, the challenge is April 2nd to April 7th. And at the end of April 7th, no matter what, you're going to have a completed film. And that film's going to go on our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook page. So no matter what, the world is going to see your content. And we've had people that weren't named as finalists or winners, and they ended up in 2-year contracts actually working in Canada, believe it or not, on a show called Loudermilk. You know, and all these other opportunities come, but ultimately that comes from people taking their career in their own hands. So I feel so proud of all the successes we've had, but also just so honored to be a part of such a talented community of disabled artists.
The film challenge makes sure to offer up themes. You give people a lot of freedom, but you want to put them at least in a little bit of a box here. How are you approaching that this year? What are the themes that you want filmmakers to explore?
So we actually announced the full assignment at the start of the challenge. So the reason why we wait to hold off on the theme, props, and locations that have to be incorporated in the film is so that we know that these films were done over the course of 5 days, because we have films being created from around the world. In Europe, we've had films in India, in Africa, in South America, beyond, you know, obviously North America. So the fact that we allow certain aspects of the theme, the props, and locations to not come until the end that helps us make sure that these are new original films so that it becomes equitable to everybody, because some people have, Oscar winners that could be part of their team and fancy equipment, and some people are doing it on a cell phone, and that's okay. And we've had finalists in both categories, but we did announce that this year the genre is buddy comedy. So that is going to be the genre for this year. And the reason why we came up with that genre is this is the 11th anniversary. And we decided to do a survey to all participants of the last 10 years to ask them what workshops they'd be most excited about, of which you could sign up and live stream if you go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com. And we also asked what genres people would be most excited about. And buddy comedy won.
I think there's probably going to be some pretty fun stuff that comes out of that theme, no doubt about it. What do those 5 days look like while the challenge is ongoing? Like you said, you're only going to tip so many of the cards here, but what do those 5 days end up looking like for the people who enter the challenge?
Sure. So step one is between now and April 1st, you need to register. So you'll register. Our website walks you through how you sign up, disabilityfilmchallenge.com. And then everybody that's registered will receive an email on Tuesday, April 2nd. And that email, which is going to go to everybody around the world at the exact same time, will have that full assignment, which is the themes, the props, the locations to choose from. And now you have 5 days to write, produce, edit, and submit your films. And then eventually, over the next week, we put them on our social media pages, and we have what we call the awareness campaign, where everybody's trying to get likes, views, and shares for their films. But if you break down what happens during those 5 days, I think everybody has their own little recipe of how they, work out their schedule. But I always say you should really look at it. The first day you want to be writing, but you have pre-production going even before of your cast, your crew, people that you want to write to, locations that you may be able to incorporate, and then of course you may have to find a new location as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then you shoot either the following day or the day after, and then it's editing. So it's really, I always encourage people not to shoot more than one day, because you don't want too much footage because you have to edit it.
Yeah, this is where storyboarding really comes in handy. You got to do a little bit of pre-production and prep plan on that first day. How does the work end up getting evaluated? What's that process like?
Sure. So we have 20 judges with and without disabilities. Some of the biggest names, Oscar winner or nominee Jim LeBrecq, who directed Crip Camp, studio executives, casting directors, writers, actors, producers, people that work in the media. And so they all watch these films. And, some of this is evaluated on how much of the assignment was executed, the production quality. So we have a metric which is on our website. And the judges really, dive into individual performances for the actor. And so, we throw everybody's results into a spreadsheet. So I wish there was a more exciting way, but we make it as equitable as we can. And we have a wide variety of people that really watch and spend time, going through each selection.
How hard is that for the judges? Because certainly art is subjective and everyone has their own tastes. How hard is it for the judges to end up coming up with the winners?
It's hard, and I gotta say I'm not a judge. So if you're listening right now and you're upset that you didn't win in the past, don't come after me. I'm not a judge. I believe you're talented. No, it's so hard. I couldn't be a judge, even if I was able to. And I obviously can't be a judge because I know so many of the contestants. So I remove myself from the judging process. But it's really hard. And you know what? We've had so many people that I honestly was like, oh, this is going to be the winner, and they didn't get nominated.
Wow.
So and that's something else that's very important with the challenge. Whether you are a winner or whether you are a finalist, it is insane how many opportunities end up coming to people that were not named as finalists or winners. The Casting Society of America, which is a worldwide network of casting directors, share all the films. So literally, thousands of casting directors around the world in in Europe and the Middle East, they're watching these films. And so they're looking for specific talent and also discovering new talent. So whether you're named as a finalist or a winner, you get opportunities. And the coolest thing is everybody owns their own film. So you could submit your film to all these other film festivals. We've had films that weren't finalists, and they screened at countless film festivals around the world. Some have screened at 100, 200 festivals, and they weren't named as a finalist or a winner.
Wow.
So again, it's all about making your own film and taking your career in your own hands.
Ownership. I love it. Disabilityfilmchallenge.com. Disabilityfilmchallenge.com. Nic, again, congratulations on the ongoing success. Would love to check in with you again down the road as the competition wraps itself up, and maybe even talk to a few of the filmmakers. Thank you again. All the best to you, and talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me on.
That's Nic Novicki, the founder and director of the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge. As mentioned, disabilityfilmchallenge.com, disabilityfilmchallenge.com to learn more, or hey, send an email, info@disabilityfilmchallenge.com, info@disabilityfilmchallenge.com. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI-TV, or download the podcasts wherever you listen. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI-TV, or download the podcasts wherever you listen.